Hello you beautiful peeps, my name's Sean, welcome to my channel. Today we have the Bonsai 141-600, or I believe this is the 603, retailing at around $120 today. How good is it? That I don't know, it's still in the box. Let's check it out. So, welcome back. Right. This is the box, this is everything that was in it. I would take it out like so. As you can see, it was a bit beaten up while in transit, but I'm sure everything is okay. Just in case you wanted a few extra shells, I don't know if this is standard or it is because this is a review copy. Maybe somebody else who's actually bought it could tell me. Now, as I said before, this retails at $120, and that's a bit of a dangerous sort of price point, because around those prices you've got the 124018 and 124019. They're sort of retailing at around 120, a similar price, and they go at 60 kilometers an hour. Then of course you have the 144 001, lots of numbers today, and that is currently retailing at 89, and that goes 60 kilometers an hour as well, and this one only goes at 40. So it's got some really stiff competition. Now there's got to be something here to sort of justify the larger price point, and that's a real concern to me, because just looking over it I can see a lot of plastic. And you consider on the 144001 you've got the aluminium chassis, aluminium shock towers, aluminium oil-filled shocks, or metal oil-filled shocks, and these are friction, as you can tell by the bounciness of it. So I'm a little bit confused what Bonsai are actually up to here right now. Now this was sent to me directly from Bonsai themselves, so I thank you for that, but I'm struggling to know what your marketing sort of department are going for at the minute. Did you have a look at the WL Toys 144001 and go, that looks like a nice car, let's copy it and make it slower and not as good quality and not out of metal? I'm not sure. Oh, and more expensive, because of course it's 120 for this and 89 currently for the 144001. So I honestly don't know what they're thinking. Now obviously getting it out on the road could show us some, you know, interesting and wonderful reasons for it being at that price, but what they are I do not know. Now the motors are 390 versus the larger one in the WL Toys 144001. I apologise for having to compare it against that, but when you have a car that looks pretty much exactly like the 144001 and then name it the 141600, of course you're going to have the comparisons against it. I mean, yeah, there you go. So you see the size of the tiny little motor here, so that's the reason why it's only going at the 40 right now. Let's have a look at the battery, if I can get it out. Okay, this is here so that if you want to put a larger battery in you can, but obviously they've decided to go with that type connector, which again I do not know. Most people have the Dean's connectors at the minute, and will that fit? No, that one will not fit either. Now this is, I believe, a lithium ion. Yes, this is lithium ion and not a LiPo. I'll just put that back for the moment. 35 amp ESC. I'm not sure if this one's waterproof. It doesn't seem to say. No, it's not going to be waterproof, is it? Okay, right. Bear with me. I'm going to put some batteries into the controller, see if the battery's got any juice. Okay, batteries are now in the controller, turned on. As you can see, you have the steering trim and the throttle trim. The controller itself, ooh, blimey, didn't even know that was turned on. Whoops. Okay, just making sure. The controller itself seems bog standard for the price point. It's very much like a WL Toys one. maybe slightly better quality. The throttle feels pretty good, steering feels pretty good, so there you go. As you saw, it went blasting off. I did hold the button down for a second as soon as I plugged it in, but no lights came on, so I assumed that you have to hold it down for a little bit longer, which is why I was surprised that it went shooting off like it did. If you have a look inside, the light is on, but we have a no one home. Let me turn off the controller and back on. No. Turn that off and back on. So, that's interesting. I'm going to turn off both again. Unplug it. Plug it back in. You saw that, right? No steering until I pressed here. Come on, Bonsai. If you want to compete, you have to put some quality into it. I'm really, really disappointed. You can't adjust the track rods here. They're set to what they are. I don't know. Less than enthused on this one, I have to say. I've avoided watching other channels' videos on this, but from what I've heard, the response has not been positive from a lot of channels, and there's been a couple of channels that have been raving immensely positive things about the car, which I'm actually really quite surprised about. I've had it out for, what, 5 minutes now, and yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm a little bit concerned about driving it with, steering that may stop or start whenever it wishes to do so. But, as I said, maybe when we get it out and we give it a good drive, maybe that's where it will show itself properly. I'm hoping that there's a charger somewhere, because I do not have... Yep, good. I do not have a charger for this one, so certainly not for this connector. I could charge it off that one with one of the WL toys, but it has come with it, which is good. So I think what I'll do is I'll get it charged up, we'll get it out, and we'll see if it's any good. See you soon. Hello ladies and gents, welcome to this beautiful location. Here we have the Bonsai Jubud, yeah, whatever, 141603. It's about time that we got it tested. As you saw a little bit earlier on the video, I wasn't overly impressed, but let's see what it's like, okay? So, power on. Power on. Yeah, power. Well, that pin doesn't want to go in. There we go. Could you look down here, Colin, please? No steering. We have power. No steering. Seriously? No, sit. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, can I recommend this car? No, I'm afraid not. Now, I know that failures happen, but I've owned one of these and had a failure. I've owned lots and lots of WL toys and I have had 0 failures. So if you want to charge more, if you want it to go slower, if you want it to be less quality, at least make it reliable. And this obviously isn't. I'm not even going to bother to drive it because it's just going to keep on stopping, obviously, as we go over the bumps. So can I recommend this car? I'm afraid not, ladies and gents. I'm going to be in contact with Bonsai and inform them of my less than positive review. And see what they say, see if they want to send out a new one to give it a second chance. I suspect not, because they'll see that I'm not exactly overly enthused by it. Maybe they've got other other models and whatnot. So no, I'm sorry, I can't recommend it. You've got friction shocks. It's terrible. It really is at this price point. I'm shocked, I truly am. So anyway, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, catch you next time, take care. Bye bye.